Dexter Morgan is back, but something feels off. If you think Dexter: Resurrection is just a sequel to New Blood, think again. This return might completely break the rules of the franchise. But what if this isn't a continuation at all, but a total rewrite, a do-over that erases everything we thought was canon? Let's rewind for a second. Dexter: New Blood ended with Harrison killing Dexter, an ending meant to close the book on his twisted legacy. But fans were divided. Some called it poetic, others called it betrayal. Now, with Dexter: Resurrection on the horizon, rumors are swirling. Is Showtime about to retcon everything that happened in New Blood? Here's what we know. The new show is being developed by Clyde Phillips, the same showrunner who left before Dexter's original run went off the rails. And he's gone on record saying New Blood wasn't his vision.
First of all, we wanted the show to look and feel different in every way from the moment the first frame comes up and we're listening to Iggy Pop all of a sudden.
So ask yourself, if the original creator is returning and the new series is titled Resurrection, are we witnessing a spiritual revival or a full-on reboot? The cast announcements don't help. Clancy Brown's character is dead. Harrison's status is unclear, and there's no official word on whether this version of Dexter even remembers what happened in Iron Lake. Now here's where things get wild. Leaked set photos and teaser clips show a Miami-like setting. Palm trees, water, boats, the very opposite of the snowy, grounded tone of New Blood. Could this mean we're back in time? Or worse, in an alternate timeline? There's also a theory gaining traction online that Resurrection takes place in Dexter's mind, a purgatory of sorts where he's forced to relive his worst sins. If that's true, nothing we're about to see is real. It's psychological horror, not crime drama. If that's the case, the franchise isn't just being continued, it's being reshaped, rewritten, freed from canon entirely. Personally, I think this bold direction could either save or destroy the Dexter legacy. If Resurrection ignores New Blood, it sends a message. Fan backlash matters more than continuity. But if it embraces the chaos and acknowledges the timeline fractures, it might create something truly original. One thing's for sure, Dexter fans aren't ready for what's coming. If you think Dexter: Resurrection will retcon New Blood, let me know in the comments. Hit like if you want more breakdowns like this, and subscribe so you don't miss the next theory drop. Deborah Morgan is dead, right? Then why is the internet convinced she's coming back again? A new theory just exploded online, and it might change everything we thought we knew about Dexter: Resurrection. Let's start with what we know. In New Blood, Deborah was already dead, but she still returned. Not physically, but in Dexter's mind. A hallucination, a dark echo of his conscience. And that's what's making fans suspicious, because now it's happening again. A trailer drops, a single line from Dexter, a shadowed figure, no context, no face, just enough to set Reddit on fire. And you know what they found? A theory that might be the craziest and most convincing one yet. What if Deborah is still with him, not just in his head, but guiding him, judging him, maybe even saving him? Think about it. Deborah was always the one person who could break Dexter's walls.
Did you kill all these people?
The voice in his ear, the anchor to his humanity. And in New Blood, even in death, she kept pulling him back. Now here's where it gets wild. Some fans believe she'll return again as Dexter's full-blown moral compass in Resurrection, a recurring ghost, a force he can't ignore. Why do they think that? First, the symbolism. Second, the trailer clues. And third, Jennifer Carpenter herself. Her name hasn't been confirmed, but it hasn't been ruled out either. That kind of silence, it's almost too loud. And let's be honest, Dexter is unraveling. The dark passenger isn't his only enemy anymore. The real battle? It's between who he's become and who Deborah always hoped he'd be.
Actually, yes, we believe that's our killer signature.
Is Deborah really coming back? Or are we just haunted by her, the same way Dexter is? One thing's for sure, this theory has gripped fans harder than ever before. Now it's your turn. Do you think Deborah's coming back? As a ghost, a flashback, or maybe something even darker? Drop your theory in the comments, because Dexter: Resurrection premieres July 11th, and Deborah Morgan might not be finished. Dexter: Resurrection isn't just a cool title, it's a chilling clue. a clue that hints at Dexter's darkest transformation yet. But what if I told you that the word resurrection doesn't just mean Dexter survived? It means something far more disturbing, something spiritual, biblical, and inevitable. Dexter's story has always walked the tightrope between sinner and savior, but with this new chapter, the title doesn't just tease a comeback, it signals a rebirth, and not the hopeful kind. In Christian theology, resurrection often means redemption, rising again after death, cleansed, whole, transformed. But Dexter Morgan isn't seeking forgiveness. He's not becoming something better. He's becoming something worse. Let's go back. Dexter faked his death in the finale of the original series, running off to live in isolation. But Dexter, new blood pulled him back into the cycle. Violence, secrets, loss, and ultimately, death again, this time at the hands of his own son Harrison. So how is he back? That's where the resurrection symbolism takes a dark turn. In religious texts, not all resurrections are holy. Some are cursed. The undead, souls brought back not by grace, but by vengeance, obsession, or unfinished sin. In that sense, Dexter isn't rising like Christ. He's returning like a ghost, a haunting, a man who can't die until his purpose is complete, even if it destroys him and everyone around him. And it's not the first time the show hinted at this. In Season 6, there was an entire arc about religious killers, a doomsday killer obsessed with revelation, and Dexter himself confronting faith, mortality, and what comes after death. He even asked a priest if someone like him could ever be forgiven. He never got an answer. So when the new series calls itself Resurrection, it's not just about plot, it's about fate. It's about a man who can't stay buried, no matter how hard the world tries. But here's the real twist. Dexter's resurrection might not be physical at all. What if it's spiritual? What if Harrison, his son, now carries Dexter's darkness? What if the resurrection is happening through bloodline, not body? What if the monster didn't die, but simply moved on? The title could be a warning. Dexter isn't back, but the dark passenger is. So the next time you see the words Dexter Resurrection, ask yourself, who's really coming back? Because sometimes what rises from the grave isn't the man you remember. If you want more deep dives like this, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. What do you think resurrection really means for Dexter? Drop your theories in the comments. I'll be reading everyone. Dexter Morgan is back from the dead, but this time, he's not alone. 6 new serial killers have emerged, and each one is more dangerous, more twisted, and more personal than anything Dexter has ever faced. One of them might just be the end of him. You thought the Trinity Killer was terrifying? You haven't met these monsters yet. These aren't just random villains for shock value. Each new killer in Dexter, Resurrection has a direct tie to Dexter's past, and possibly his future. And some fans believe they're not just new enemies. They might be reflections of who Dexter used to be. Let's break them down, one by one, starting with the most unsettling, the copycat. He's calculated, precise, methodical, just like Dexter. Only difference? He doesn't clean up the mess. This killer wraps victims in plastic, drains their blood, and dumps the bodies in water. Sound familiar? But he's not honoring Dexter's code. He's mocking it. Sources say he's played by a breakout star from a recent A24 horror film, someone known for quiet intensity and disturbing calm. Fans think it's a deliberate casting nod, a reminder that Dexter is no longer unique. And now, we meet the vigilante. On the surface, they're doing good, hunting predators, punishing the guilty, racking up a body count that even Dexter would respect. But the twist, this killer targets other vigilantes, Dexter included. They believe no one should play God, and they're on a mission to erase every self-made executioner from existence, starting with the one who set the blueprint. Insider leaks hint that this role is being played by a veteran TV actor known for portraying morally gray detectives, the kind of face audiences trust, until they shouldn't. Third on the list, the prophet. This isn't just a killer, this is a believer. They think each murder is a holy act, guided by prophecy. Biblical references are carved into victims' flesh. Crime scenes are staged like religious rituals. And here's the creepiest part. They know Dexter's alive, and they believe he was resurrected for a reason. This role is rumored to be filled by a method actor with cult-following experience, someone who disappears into disturbing roles. One source even said they make Trinity look tame. Up next is the Insider. This one operates from within, inside the system. They have access to Dexter's file, surveillance footage, forensic evidence, maybe even the kill list. They know things no outsider should, because they're not an outsider. We're talking about a mole, possibly a cop, or maybe someone in law enforcement who once worked with Deborah Morgan. They're close, and they're watching. The casting: a well-known actor from procedural crime shows, the kind of character you expect to solve crimes, not commit them. And then there's the Mirror. This one will hurt. The Mirror is a teenage killer, quiet, brilliant, traumatized. He idolizes Dexter, studies him, mimics him, wants to be him. Sound familiar? Some say this is the dark path Harrison could have taken. Others believe the Mirror is connected to Harrison's story, and that Dexter might see too much of himself in this kid. Casting notes suggest this actor is a total newcomer, chosen specifically for his eerie resemblance to Harrison. The resemblance is so uncanny, fans are already calling him Dark Son. Finally, the Ghost. This is the one no one understands. No fingerprints, no DNA, no motives. Just bodies, surgically clean, vanishing without a trace. Some investigators think the ghost isn't real. Others think they're Dexter's hallucination, but the evidence is real, and Dexter might be the only one who sees the full picture. Here's the craziest theory. The ghost isn't just a killer. The ghost is Dexter, a part of himself that's splintered off. The dark passenger fully unleashed. So now you're probably wondering, are these 6 killers separate? Or are they connected? Fan theories suggest they're all pieces of a single network, a cult of killers, or worse, a psychological test designed specifically for Dexter, a way to make him unravel from the inside. This isn't just a new season, it's a reckoning. Dexter always believed in control, rules, precision, but Resurrection throws all of that into chaos. Every killer he faces now is smarter, bolder, and one step ahead. And if you think Dexter has what it takes to beat them all, think again. Because in Dexter, Resurrection, the question isn't, can he survive? It's, which one of these killers will end him? So which one do you think is the true threat? The Prophet, who thinks Dexter is part of a divine plan? The Mirror, who's becoming the next Dexter? The Ghost, who might not be real? Drop your theory in the comments below. And if you're ready to see Dexter face the most terrifying challenge of his life, make sure you're subscribed, because this is only the beginning.